off the cuff live stream here, and I didn't really give any forewarning. So if I don't get a lot of attention on here, I totally get it and everything. But guys, I'm gonna be discussing a potential psyop that I've been kind of seeing, and it's actually mostly in the preparedness, prepper kind of survivalist sphere, and even a lot of like the Minuteman type of guys will fall into this as well. And it's what I call the nuclear war psyop, or the nuclear psyop. And basically, people will be preparing or doomsdaying or doomsaying that, oh, we're going to get nuked at any point, and World War III is ramping up, and they're just going to nuke everything and all that. And quite frankly, I think it's a bunch of bullshit, quite frankly. And there's a few reasons why I feel that it is a bunch of bullshit. The entire nuke thing, I think, is a bunch of bullshit. Now, right off the bat, let me preface this with, do I think they got some really, really, really big booms that can, like, take out a city or something like that? Yeah, they probably do. Do I think it's going to have radiation for thousands of years or whatever, all the crap that they hype up and all that? No. And I think one of the things that we get caught up in on all and about a lot of things, in all honesty, is we've replaced the white robe types with the white lab coat types. And so people will see a guy with a white lab coat and he just makes all these fantastical numbers, basically just make them up, but we automatically trust and put that character on a pedestal because, well, they got all these degrees and, they put out all these big numbers and stuff. But that's a form of wizardry, really, honestly. And the wizardry, basically, they use a lot of big terms or big numbers. And to the average person, it sounds, really smart and fantastical. But to the thinking person, they can see through the wizardry and see it as a bunch of bullshit, quite frankly. Something I dare a lot of people to look into is just look up a lot of the quote videos of nukes itself. Most of them, quite frankly, are about as fake and gay as the moon landing. And what kind of is borderline comical on the whole thing is when you see a lot of these videos and you see all this just destruction and stuff and, buildings getting leveled, but then there's somehow a camera that's just sitting there fine watching it. It's kind of like there's a guy still on the moon that's, watching the little fake craft lift off and everything. Me personally, I think the entire nuke thing is a psyop, and the fear of nukes is more so of the weapon than the actual nuke itself. Like I said, do I think that they got some big booms that can, like, create a lot of destruction? Oh, definitely. I actually think that they can completely fake a nuke attack as well. I've thought about this before. They totally faked a virus. They totally fake a lot of things. So could they fake a nuke? Yeah, I think they can. One theory I thought of is, could they, quote, do a big boom and then crank up the 5G towers and then get everybody having, quote, radiation effects from the 5G tower, and then all it would take is all the media, the most effective devil in America, to hype it up and scare everybody, and then everybody could think that we legit got nuked. And could they use that to drag us into a war? Yeah. Do I think that they can do a war to send out the able-bodied warrior men and thin them out? Yeah, I agree with that. I think the whole nuke thing, though, is like I said, I think it's a psyop to get people all hyped up on we should be scared of this when they're actually doing this. We have to stop and think about it. The people who quote has power over the nukes are also the same people that has all the infrastructure, all the power grid, all the systems of control that they already have control of. So why would they destroy their own system of control? If anything, if they nuked it all, then they would almost lose power, not just physically, but they would lose physical power as far as just control over people if they did nuke it all. And so I think the biggest psyop of the whole nuke thing is do what we want you to do, go fight these stupid wars, or else we're going to just nuke it all. When really, honestly, I don't know if they actually have that capability. Fear is, I think, the biggest weapon there. And so I see a lot of these prepper types, and they're getting all like, oh, if we get nuked, we got to have this and all that, and radiation protection and all that. And I don't even think that that's necessarily bad to have. But at the same time, the thing that I think we should really be preparing for is breaking away from Babylon, breaking away from their control system, because that's the real World War III. I think the real World War III isn't so much of nations against nations, which I think there's going to be some of that, but I think it's all the governments of the world, all the corporations of all the world, and all the banks all working together to essentially enslave their own people. And we're seeing that. And so, guys, I guess generally the quick message here is just don't get caught up into the bullshit and the fear porn and everything like that. And prepare for what's actually happening and not some theoretical wizardry that just has a bunch of numbers and stuff. So guys, this ain't going to be a long live stream or anything. I figured it'd almost just be quicker to live stream this than trying to do a rant and then edit a video and all that good stuff. So if you guys like these quick little live streams, let me know. And as always, be prepared both physically and spiritually. God bless. Carry on.